It was a tough piece to write because there was a lot that I wanted to say and a lot that I wanted to get across that was really difficult for me to do. But I think I needed the room. I don't think I could have done that in a much more compressed space. I tried, but I couldn't.
Yeah, and you have to follow where the story wants to go,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one of the things about telling the truth about trauma and about violence is that we always try to shrink those stories,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? And there I want people to go read it, so obviously I'm going to link the crap out of it everywhere. But the repetition
Mm-hmm.
in that piece is one of the things that makes it so powerful, right? That each iteration comes with a slightly larger lens, right? And that is the way that trauma lives in the body.
That was the last, thank you for saying that, because that was really the last piece of the puzzle to fall into place for me. I wrote like 5 full drafts of that essay, top to bottom. And every time I wrote it, I was like, this is just not, it's not doing the thing I want it to do, until I started focusing on the paragraph where I talk about how the experience of trauma is actually quite boring. And why that is because you have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then as I was, trying to work that into language, I thought, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to make the essay do the thing. And you're just going to hear me say it over and over and over again. Here's what's happened. And then hoping that the time that you spend with me in the essay gives you a little bit of a glimpse of like what it's like to be in the head of a trauma survivor.
Yeah. And the repetition of that, both as like a creative writing device and making the reader feel it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is something that we really don't talk about, not just in gun violence, but in the way that life altering, life changing loss of whatever sort lives in you. And honestly, it really is boring.
Mm-hmm. It's so
It
boring.
really, really is. And it's this engine that just keeps chugging
Yeah, it's just
over.
exhausting.
Yeah.
It's boring, and it wears you out. It wears you out. It wears out, whenever anytime I have to say to my partner, like, can I talk to you again about the time I was held hostage at gunpoint? I feel I myself am so annoyed with me, and he's great, but I feel bored and annoyed because I know he knows. He's heard the story before. But like the telling is the cure. You have to do it. You have to get in there with it when your body tells you that it's time. And so you're going to drag in whoever it is, your therapist, your partner, your best friend, your roommate, whoever is the person who's going to be there for you in those moments. And then, you're dragging them into the boringness of it all too.
I love this. I think we're kind of precious about trauma, right? Like you can't call it boring. You
Mm.
can't laugh about it. Like it is this very serious thing, and it's such a serious thing that you have to be able to tell the truth about it. And part of the truth is it's repetitive. The reach of trauma is very long.
Very long. Yeah. And, after a time, there's nothing creative about it. There's nothing generative about it. There's nothing that's entertaining about it. It's just about the work, and working on your trauma, surviving your trauma, processing your trauma, healing. It's just becomes like brushing your teeth. It's boring, but you have to do it.